It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Bragdy Conwy Brewery in North Wales, and this is a bottle of their Clogwyn Gold, a golden hoppy ale coming in at 4% ABV. 500ml bottle, black bottle cap. I think it was part of their 4 for 3 range in Morrison's. I picked it up about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, so I definitely bought it in a batch of beers because I got some more of the beers there. So I'm guessing, yeah, 4 for 3 in Morrison's at the moment. Whenever you go to the supermarket, these supermarkets always have, whether it be Asda, Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, they will always have that kind of 4 for 3 deal. Or there always seems to be more of a deal on bottles than there is cans. Although there are deals on cans these days, but you still get more value for money for a bottle, I believe, even though the cans are more new world. And if you get a cracker, it's a really good beer. Let's talk about, kind of just for a moment, Salt Huckaback in a can. I believe at the moment that's part of a 4 for 3 deal in Asda, and that's a cracking beer. But anyway, we're not here to talk about cans, we're here to talk about a bottle of beer from North Wales. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, beer in the glass. It's a light amber golden coloured ale as described on the bottle. We got a 3-finger white head. Good levels of carbonation. It's bottle conditioned beer. You can see the sediment there floating around in the bottle. Looks very light, very golden. Looks very nice. It does. It looks like a very inviting, very appetizing, very kind of spring-like beer. Summer beer. Beer garden beer. It looks like beer garden. I love a beer garden. Beer garden beer. Right, let's get the aroma then. Good, really good. Lemon and grapefruit. Lemon, grapefruit and kind of spiciness. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's really sessionable. Really sessionable. And picking up a few things here. Wow. These beers are really... Now, I picked up some of these Bragdy Conwy breweries recently. I picked up their bitter as well. And it was Welsh Pride Golden Bitter. That had a bit of sediment in it. But look at that. I mean... Wow. Look at that. I really like the look of that. For me, that's just flavour. That's chock full of flavour. Now, I was drinking the beer just now thinking, it's really light. It was drinking like a... You know, like these blonde ales? Not a Belgian blonde, but like these kind of blonde American blondes where they're just kind of a little bit more flavoursome than a lager. Hoppier than a lager, but with more sweet malt. That's an American blonde ale. It was tasting like an American blonde ale for a moment there. I was picking up a lot of malt, but I reckon now, getting all that sediment from the last inch of the bottle into the beer, I'm going to be tasting something a little bit different, I think. First of all, let's get the aroma again. Yeah, it's definitely a different beer now. What happens is all of the flavour, all of the sediment, it's gravity, all makes its way to the bottom of the bottle. Now, you can choose to throw that away. But personally, I think you'd be throwing away all of the greatness, all of the flavour, all that real flavour that's in the beer. If you can be brave enough to kind of chuck it in, and there's lots of you now being brave because there's lots of hazy beer out there. Then pour it in. Make sure you pour it in because it's really flavoursome. Completely changed the beer. It's completely changed the beer. This is more grapefruit now, more lemon, grapefruit, orange peel. Spiciness, pepperiness, a nice bitterness coming through from the hops. That last half inch of the beer being thrown in from the bottle made such a difference. I was ready to kind of like really talk about just how really crisp. It is very crisp. It is a very crisp beer already, but it was ultra crisp without the sediment thrown in. It was ultra kind of wow, amazing. But it's even better now, even better. I've held back. I wanted to talk about it in the previous beer review, but I'm going to talk about it in this beer review. Bragdy Conwy Brewery, they are from North Wales. They've been brewing terrific beer as far as I'm concerned for a number of years now. And they've been putting their beers in the supermarket from North Wales without great fanfare for a number of years. And then all of a sudden, another brewery in Mould, in Flintshire, North Wales, came along, Polly's Brew Co. And they began to like smash it out of the park. They began to produce canned craft beer that it was one of those almost underground situations where everybody's talking about it, everybody's speaking about it, buying it. It's how all of these great breweries come to light. I remember back in the day hearing mumblings about Cloudwater, how great their beers were, and drink them, and it's almost as if these companies kind of slip under the radar for a little while. But there's a certain amount of people in the industry that have the know. They have that kind of know. They're in the know. And then all of a sudden, Cloudwater, bang, they hit the scene. It's not underground anymore. All of the people, the great people involved in the craft beer industry, love their beer, drink their beer. It happened with Verdant. It also happened with Verdant. It then happened to Polly's Brew Co. Now, Polly's Brew Co., North Wales, probably Mould, not much of a craft beer drinking part of the world. Mould in Flintshire. But you've got this brewery now producing some of the best beers in the whole of the UK. The most kind of wanted beer to drink in the whole of the UK. Whereas you've got this brewery here, again, from North Wales, same region, like busting their guts to try and do the same thing, to make their way on the beer map. And they just quietly sit there in the corner of the beer shelf in Morrison's. And they don't have that kind of great explosion of growth. And that must really be annoying for a company like Bragdy Conwy Brewery who you know, are trying to achieve that very status. But at the same time, it's slightly different beer. Of course, it's not as hoppy. it's in a bottle. It's in that 4 for 3 range in Morrison's or Tesco. But what I find is, if I buy Marston's beers, London Prides from London, Fuller's Smith and Turner, Shepherd Neame, the beers are okay. But what I find with this brewery is the beer is generally really good quality. This is really top quality, bottle conditioned, bottled beer. That if I was to choose the 4 for 3 in the supermarket, then it would be from this brewery. And that's not because I'm a Welshman and they're from North Wales and it's the same country. It nothing to do with that. It's the fact that they do generally produce better quality beer than the likes of your Shepherd Neame and your Marstons and your kind of Fullers. It's still holding that bottle condition kind of. You could buy this in a bottle shop. Say if you went to Tenby or if you went to Cornwall. We've all seen, when we go to these coastal towns, we've all seen the little bottle shops that sell local beer. This still has that feel of you're buying local beer from a little brewery. And I like that for that. I like the beer for that. It's good quality. It's really good quality. The malt quality, the malt build of the beer is really good. It's drinkable, it's sessionable. Yeah, it's lovely. Description. Tropical fruit aromas followed by sweet malts and gentle hop bitter aftertaste. First Gold, Cascade, Citra and Equinox. Good stuff, good stuff. They're all unfiltered, unpasteurised and naturally carbonated beers from Bragdy Conwy Brewery in North Wales. I'm going to rate it. It's good. It's good. It's hoppy. It's kind of modern with the Equinox. What did they say? Cascade, Citra and Equinox. It's modern. It's modern beer in a bottle. But it's bottle conditioned. Rating. It's good. I like it. It's definitely an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.